Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to part 3 of 3, best of 3, with some Tomb Kings versus some High Elves. This is me versus Ryan. We're doing 1250 points, and this is a little evolution series that we're doing where we're just going to keep playing the same armies and points levels and just kind of evolve our lists from there. So our lists are the same as game 2. Game 1, Ryan didn't have a BSB, so he manipulated his list a little bit to fix that. I still don't have a BSB, but I don't need one, and he's lost so many troops and lost the game due to a lot of panic tests and failed leadership chests. So that was necessary. The new thing with this game is I actually roll up different spells. I have Desert Wind, and I've got the protection spell 5+ ward save, which is pretty useful. So since we're playing at home, we do have some makeshift terrain. We've got 2 impassables with the beer bottles, a hill in the middle, and then off to the right, a forest of Hershey Kisses. So I try to be a little bit more careful with my deployment here. I've got my fast cav to the right in a forest. This way if he charges me, he will have to take a difficult terrain test. It gives me a little bit of an edge. Hopefully I get first turn, since I will be getting that +1 to go first, since my troops are only 3 drops plus heroes. And then I've got the other unit in the middle hiding behind that pillar of impassable so the eagle cannot get to me. And then the unit to the left of fast cav, they were 12 inches away from his fast cav, not allowing him to move during vanguard. And then I moved those vanguard guys back. This way I was able to keep some distance and still be able to shoot. So Ryan is deployed similarly to game 2, and the hill in the middle hopefully will provide some cover as my infantry advance. So I really need to turn 1, like I did game 1, to just get some movement and some shooting in, but I fail. So what happens over here? This unit of fast cav gets charged by the eagle. He passes his difficult terrain test, and so yeah, that's not good. And then Ryan plays defensively and backs up. I know some of you might give him shit for this, and it's not completely unrealistic, but at the same time, he's playing this game to win. And if he moves his troops forward, it increases his chances of losing, because my guys need to get to combat at full strength to win. My Cambrian War Sphinx with his breath weapon will either light up the unit from shooting or use it during combat. It's unrealistic for him to charge in, but you know, it is what it is. During shooting and magic, he's able to erase this unit of fast cav. And then into combat, thankfully he actually fails his fear test, which drops his weapon skill to 1, and my weapon skill 2 horses and horse riders are hitting on 3s, which is so much better than hitting on 5s. I'm actually able to throw 2 wounds onto this eagle, which allows me to tie in combat. So in movement, I get everything nice and tight together, so when I get to spells, I'm able to do winds of magic with my caster, and Ryan ends up negating both the ward save spell and wind, so I get nothing off. So I barely moved, and I was unable to repair the 2 missing cav models from the unit to the left. So during combat, I end up losing another guy, so I'm down to 2 horses, and then we move back into Ryan's turn, and he gets off Miasma onto the Cambrian War Sphinx, so he's going to get -3 movement, so he's moving 3 inches and then 6 if Desert Winds gets off. I don't know why I keep saying wizards. If my wizard gets Desert Wind off. So in combat, I'm actually able to kill this eagle, which is pretty stellar. So we find ourselves back onto my turn again, and I advance as quickly as I can. The Cambrian War Sphinx is no longer getting further ahead. He did end up taking a wound from some shooting though, but during magic I'm able to get off Desert Wind, unfortunately with Irresistible Force. So I do get some movement in there. The Tomb Guard moving the fastest since they've got the Swiftness banner. The Cambrian War Sphinx only gets an extra 3 inches, and I have 4 inches on the archers. The fast cav to the right do make their way over there. So they did take a wound or 2 back, so they're back up to 4 guys, and then in order to get them past this pillar, I have to do 2 by 2. So I end up rolling a 4, which means large template, strength 10. I end up killing a handful of guys. I do save a few wounds with the 6+ regen, but not enough to make a difference. Thankfully, I do not get sucked into the warp. However, I do lose the remaining 6 dice that I had. I actually rolled up 12 for Winds of Magic this turn, so it was going to be a 6 dice and then a 6 dice. So I get off wins, but the ward save is out the window without any paradise. So let me know what you guys think. Should I have gone for the ward save instead of the movement? I mean, my guys are useless unless they get into combat, but keeping them alive just a little bit longer might have been a bit helpful. I'm not sure. Okay, here's one thing that is very, very interesting. So the spell resolves first, and then the miscast. So my caster, before I moved my units, was on the left corner of the archer unit, not the right corner where she is right now. You can see she's got the little wound marker there. She's got one wound on her. I'm pretty sure that was a legal move. Ryan agreed to. It was acts as a super as a normal movement phase. If she was on the left hand side though, I probably would have taken off a handful of Tomb Guard too if I didn't make the adjustments of moving everybody away. So that was a pretty nifty little move there. I don't see why it wouldn't be illegal. So let me know what you guys think. So we move on into Ryan's turn, not too much movement. I do end up letting Shem's Burning Gaze through, because he rolls up like 10 winds of magic. I have a scroll, and I've got enough dice, but I have to let some things through. So he does get the extra d6 because I'm undead, so it's 2d6 strength 4. He squeezes a wound through because he actually rolled up like 9 hits, which wasn't a big deal. I end up scrolling the level 3 Fireball, and then he Irresistible Forces, I think, Miasma, which means I'm moving slow again. Not the end of the world, but then during shooting, it ends up knocking down the War Sphinx because you get some pretty good shots with the archers and the bolt throwers. So also with Miasma, he only did movement. He wasn't doing the higher one where it does a bunch of different stat increases or decreases, stat decreases. So we toss back to my turn. Movement, I chug along as best I can. The Cav are moving a little bit closer towards that bolt thrower. This way, hopefully, I can shoot up and kill the rest of his fast Cav, the Reavers, and then maybe charge a bolt thrower in a future turn. So with magic, I decided, you know what, I'm pretty close this turn. If I do another movement of 5 on the Temple Guard, it allows him to dictate combat, so I decide, hell, I've got enough dice to do both. I'll go for protection first, and then if I've got dice left or Ryan doesn't disable or dispel, I'll try to get off wins. Fortunately, I miscast again, so I get a bunch of archers back, which is fine. I get a full strength unit of fast cav again, but I don't move and I get another miscast. Of course, I roll up another 4, which ends up killing the caster. Regen doesn't bring him back, and I kill a handful more set of archers. So I was kind of hanging in. Since I still have my caster, I figured a 5+ ward save and some extra movement here and there and resing my guys would be useful, but I've lost my caster. So one thing to note, something worth noting, in all 3 games Ryan has miscast also, but the Banner of the World Dragon ends up really helping with keeping his guys alive, even with a large template strength 10. You got that friggin' ward save of 2 up, which is really, really useful. So here I end up killing the rest of the fast cav with my archers. In Ryan's turn, he ends up finishing off my fast cav with shooting, and then he miasmas the Tomb Guard and brings them down to movement 2. So bouncing back to my turn, my only solution was to issue a charge onto the bolt thrower, and then the middle one, hoping that I get it on a 12. Because I'm 14 inches away on movement 2, I needed a 12. I didn't get it, but the nice thing is the false charge moved me further than the 4 inches I would have moved. Or no, sorry, the 2 inches I would have moved. So false charging 6 really, really helped. So Ryan decides to go in for the glorious battle, and he also false charges. He needed like a 4, he rolled a 3. So the sword bastards do not go in against the Tomb Guard, which I was really hoping for because I'm at full strength, and you know we've gotten so far without a glorious battle, and he false charges. So what does that mean? He's got a whole round of magic and shooting to do against me. So we don't even really get to magic because at this point a level 3 fireball comes and hits me in the face. And then a couple other spells here and there get me down to 2 ranks, and it's at this point it's not worth it. Because when shooting comes around, he's going to just demolish this unit. So this is the last photo of the game. We do not get to combat. But for our curiosity and for your curiosity, we do go ahead and engage these 2 units at full strength. So it's about 19 Swordmasters and the Lore Master and the BSB. And then I've got my 28 Tomb Guard with my Tomb Prince. I don't stand a chance. With the amount of guys I have, I still don't stand a chance. The Thy Will Be Done is useful with the extra weapon skill. However, the Always Strike First, without rerolls, with just the break even, he goes first, but he gets to attack in 3 ranks because high elves do that, and the front rank has extra attacks. I just end up, losing a whole lot of guys. We do a challenge against the BSB and the Tomb Prince. He's got the weapon that allows me to lose a attack for each wound I take, something like that, and we don't end up killing each other. But either way, the outcome of this battle is Swordmasters destroy the Tomb Guard. So it is pretty well played by Ryan. He's got to stay back in order to stay alive. I do understand that. And he did everything he had to take out my heavy hitters. The Khemri War Sphinx against his guys is an auto win for me. I got my Thunder Stomps, I got my Howdah Crew, I've got the thing doing his attack, I also have the 2d6 strength 4 hits from the breath weapon, whether I do it in combat or I just use the template from outside of combat. There's just a lot going for me there, and it's hard for him to wound me at toughness 8. So that's why he tried to take it down, obviously, in all 3 games. So, what's going to go on from here? Well, we've decided 2 things. We're going to use Undead Legion's rules, even though I'm only going to play Tomb Kings, which should allow me to march within, the range of my general, kind of like the Vampire Counts do. And the second thing is we're going to try ETC point allowances, which should allow my Tomb Kings to take 1,400 points instead of 1,250, because there's, I believe, a 12% increase, which is pretty interesting. So I might manipulate this list just a bit, drop the Tomb Guard, because obviously having a lot of them doesn't do anything, especially when they don't make it to combat. So I'm going to drop them down to about a unit of 20, and just add in an extra Necrosphinx. Kind of see how that goes. Not Necrosphinx, War Sphinx. And see how that goes, because if the thing is that scary, having 2 of them with breath weapons and all that fun stuff that they come with should be pretty interesting. So if I'm going to get that at the same points level, I'm pretty sure taking this same exact list with those adjustments will do pretty well against Ryan. So we'll see how that goes, and we're also going to do closed lists going forward, so we'll see how that goes. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think, comments and ideas below, and I'll see you in the next one.